Once upon a time, you know, back when you were a teenager, having your own YouTube channel was a fun way to pass the time. Following your favorite celebrities and post ridiculously embarrassing videos of you and your best friend lip-syncing top trending songs. But while receiving new followers and views was thrilling, we always thought that becoming famous from YouTube was a pipe dream. Fast forward to today, when YouTube's most popular vloggers are modern-day celebrities. They have millions of followers, pricey endorsement deals, and their own product lines. And, in true celebrity fashion, today's crop of YouTubers live the lap of luxury inside their mega, multi-million-dollar mansions. That's why in this video, we show you 10 YouTubers with the most expensive homes. Let's get it on! 1. Logan Paul, $6.6 million. In 2017, the energetic YouTuber spent $6.6 million on a new home in Rancho Estates, a covetable neighborhood in Encino. Aptly nicknamed the Maverick House, the 9,000 square foot space was designed by Los Angeles-based architect Robert Bird back in the 1970s. Of course, this crib has no shortage of special features. The 5-bedroom, 7-bath home boasts vaulted ceilings, a wine cellar, and 4 fireplaces we wouldn't mind curling up next to. But as Paul tells his 23 million subscribers in his house tour episode, the magic of this house lies in the backyard. The property's outdoor space is dressed to the nines, thanks to a pool, a fire pit nook, and plenty of seating. 2. Michael Stevens, $2.1 million. Unlike most YouTube sensations, Michael Stevens is not known for his killer cat eye of death-defying stunts. With close to 17 million subscribers and over 1.5 billion lifetime views, the 35-year-old YouTuber is one of the most successful educational vloggers on the web. So, it should come at no surprise that Stevens owns a space with an intellectual edge. In 2019, he spent $2.19 million on a new home in Beechwood Canyon. From the exposed wooden beams to its candy-coated facade to the grouted tile that runs throughout the home, the 1953 home is filled with an awesome architectural details. Oh, and did we mention the property has easy access to hiking trails that lead to the Hollywood sign and Griffith Park? Well, now you know. 3. Jaclyn Hill, $20 million. After filing for divorce from her longtime husband to launching a polarizing lipstick line in 2019, YouTuber Jaclyn Hill started the next chapter in a brand new space. Hill dropped a staggering $20 million on an 8,838 square foot home, nestled in the oh-so-luxurious Beverly Hills. The spacious home boasts 5 bedrooms, 7 baths, and a boatload of amenities. From the Art Deco-inspired elevator that services all 3 floors, to the amethyst-adorned powder room, to a wine cellar with floating bottle holders. This pad is nothing short of goals. Hill is billed as one of the biggest beauty influencers, starting her YouTube channel nearly 10 years ago and amassing roughly 6 million subscribers. She is credited with reviving Becca Cosmetics after partnering with the brand in 2015 to collaborate on the brand's Champagne Pop Highlighter, which sold out of its 25,000 units in 20 minutes, and later with a complete collection in 2017. Her second collaboration with the brand earned more than $3.5 million in sales during its first day. Hill had also collaborated with Morphe Cosmetics for a 35-pan eyeshadow palette in 2015. 4. Nikki DeJager, $2.3 million. With 13.8 million subscribers and counting, YouTuber Nikki DeJager, aka Nikki Tutorials, is known for her colorful makeup styles and courageous coming out story. But when she's not making the world a better, brighter place, she's cozying up in her Netherlands-based abode, just on the outskirts of a bustling town called Uden. The vlogger actually bought this house a couple of years ago and immediately went into renovation mode. According to Variety, DeJager enlisted Dutch design firm Twan & Twan to give this home a sleek makeover. The Ferrari-driving YouTube multimillionaire who over the years has filmed videos with everyone from Kim Kardashian to Lady Gaga and has become arguably the most successful and influential female beauty guru on YouTube, recently shocked her 13 million YouTube followers by revealing that she is transgender. The makeup artist was born male, she shared, but transitioned to female at a very early age, concealing the fact from her public audience until her recent coming out video, which racked up more than 30 million views in less than a week. 5. Troye Sivan, $2 million. As a singer, vlogger, and a close friend of Ariana Grande, Troye Sivan is well on his way to becoming music royalty. And what better way to celebrate a budding career than with a $2 million home in Los Angeles' Laurel Canyon neighborhood? Erected in 1958 and renovated over the past 60 years, this 3,380 square foot space hasn't lost its mid-century charm. For starters, the contrasted facade, complete with curved edges and a porthole window, offers plenty of curbside appeals. Inside lies a gourmet kitchen, a double-height living room, an oval pool in the backyard, and so much more. 6. Bethany Mota, $2.2 million. Back in 2009, a 13-year-old named Bethany Mota decided to create a YouTube channel about all her latest and greatest cosmetic purchases. And now, Mota has hundreds of videos, 10 million plus subscribers, and yes, a $2.2 million house in Studio City, all before she turned 25 years old. Nestled on a 0.15-acre lot, Mota's property is filled to the brim with an outdoor kitchen, pool, and inset spa. While the traditional style home was technically spec-built, the original listing claims that there are plenty of opportunities for customization. While we don't exactly know how Mota personalized this place, it's safe to assume there's plenty of space for all her favorite cosmetics. 7. James Charles, $7 million. After a drama-fueled year, James Charles started 2020 on a fresh foot by picking up a new home. Earlier in the year, the beauty vlogger purchased this 9,800 square foot space for $7 million. The farmhouse-style fortress, which is lined with gates and high-tech security systems alike, features 6 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms, and a laundry list of amenities. In addition to an indoor spa, game room, wine cellar, movie theater, and mirror-wall gym, the home features an expansive master suite, complete with a private balcony and 2 walk-in closets. We have a feeling Charles turned one of those closets into a full-fledged glam room. Before unveiling the top 3 most expensive homes, if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, kindly do so by clicking on the subscribe button below. Also, give us a like, share the video, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for timely updates of our latest uploads. Let's continue. 8. Jake Paul, $6.9 million. For many, Calabasas is the gold standard of California living. In 2017, YouTuber Jake Paul joined the ranks of celebrities like Katie Holmes and Kylie Jenner and picked up his own spot in a covetable neighborhood. At $6.9 million, Paul's pad is by no means cheap, but it does not disappoint. Clocking in at 15,000 square feet, this mansion is the definition of luxury. With a movie theater, music room, 2-bedroom guest house, and a master bedroom with its very own kitchenette, this home has everything you could possibly need. 9. By Guy Jackson, $2.6 million. Michael Jackson's youngest son, By Guy, formerly known as Prince Michael Blanket Jackson, has been in the spotlight since he was born. However, at 18 years old, the music heir has made a name for himself with his own YouTube channel and a larger-than-life mansion to match. Variety might call Jackson's 6,382 square foot space a starter home, but it's a considerable upgrade from the tiny dorm room we all lived in at his age. The Mediterranean-style house boasts 6 bedrooms, 7.5 baths, a well-appointed backyard, and a designated gym area. The price? A cool $2.62 million. 10. Jeffree Star, $14 million. Of course, no list of YouTuber homes is complete without talking about Jeffree Star's new home. Purchased for a jaw-dropping $14 million, the 25,000 square foot space feels like a modern-day palace. With 8 bedrooms and 13 baths, the makeup guru has plenty of space to host his beauty star friends. Of course, the amenities don't stop there. The home is equipped with 2 guest houses, a full-blown gym, a luxe movie theater, and a 4,700 square foot garage that can fit up to 10 cars. There we go. I hope you spotted your favorite YouTuber's home in our compilation. If you did enjoy our video, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more of our awesome content. Please give us a like, share the video, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for timely updates of our latest uploads. We value your feedback. Feel free to share your thoughts with us in the comments section below.